grew from it.
Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz. PSL-6 edition concludes in absolutely fantastic fashion, and it is Multan Sultans who I think are undisputed champions of PSL now, because they beat Peshawar Zalmi in the final. They overcame all odds. Remember, number 5 at the table when the league moved from Karachi to Abu Dhabi, and since there onwards, I think Multan had never looked back. They're now crowned the champions of Pakistan Super League 6th edition. They managed to beat Peshawar by 47 runs in an all-important final, and of course Mohammad Rizwan and his troops have really deserved this victory. Multan as a side have really shown us how important is consistency, how important is self-belief, how important is the team spirit. And if you talk about the management, Andy Flower, Mushtaq Ahmed, Azhar Mahmood, a pure masterclass in the making that was there. The belief that they had with their players and the combinations, it was absolutely phenomenal to see them. I think batting first against a team like Peshawar, who loves to chase, putting up more than 200 runs, really sealed victory with the likes of Shoaib Maqsood bagging all awards of PSL. Because he didn't bowl, so I think he won't get that award, but he probably got all awards of PSL. Riley Rousseau also coming to the party, scoring that crucial 50. What a way for him to get in form as well in the very last match of the PSL. And then, of course, Multan's bowling with Suhail Tanveer, Muza Rabbani, Imran Tahir and Shahnawaz Dahani have really done it for them to be crowned the champions. We'll be discussing all about this in tonight's show. It's very important that I think Multan and the city of Multan deserve all the credit. The South Punjab Cricket Association as well for putting up so much talent there in the region. We'll be talking all about this in Sports Extra. We've been joined by senior cricket commentator, senior expert on cricket, and what a history that he has enjoyed watching and of course creating as well for Pakistan cricket. None other than the very honourable Mr. Raja Asad. Sir, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra, Raja Sahab.
Walaikum assalam, and Ahmad, I was listening to your intro. You have rightly described Andy Flower, Mushtaq and Azhar Mahmood, who stand out. They are not as big name as we have for the Karachi Kings or Lahore Calendar, or no big pump and show before the start of the PSL. You read out few names, the likes of Riley Rousseau and of course Shoaib Maqsood. Look at the batting lineup: 37, 30, 65, 50. They all, in the end, of course, they shot with 5 balls, 15 runs. It was a very articulate performance, and the final was really played like a final, winning the toss and then putting Multan to bat first. I believe that here it was, from Wahabiya's point of view, was a defensive approach. And then you saw that a monumental target of 206 was scored. It was not a one-sided affair as it looked like, a 47-run deficit in the end. But still, I believe that coaching is something other thing. The guideline and the ambience and the atmosphere, the timely atmosphere and the change are other way around. So I think in this regard, Multan Sultan are very fortunate. Other way around, the other team, the counterpart, Peshawar Zalmi, they looks to me a bit chokers, as you, Ahmad, know the history about their reaching the final and then not making it. So I think to an extent there was a hard luck to them for the top honors. All the things went accordingly, and you and me know that before the start of the PSL second leg at UAE, there was some former chairman of the board. They were criticizing the board, and such environment, such a pressure. Everything went according to the standard, according to the wishes of the people of the Pakistan and the people all around. It was overall a good show, and by all means, I would say Multan Sultan, they deserve full commiseration of the outstanding performance, I would say. And you rightly said that they come up. That was the team which was coming up. They were trailing at number 5, and then and the big final and the big victory. By the big margin, a 47-run margin. The team comprises some of the players, I would say. Imran Tahir, he looks me a wonderful, old man with his leggies, and he has 3 wickets in a single over. Almost changed the whole complexion of the final. And then they have the services of young aspirant Shahnawaz Dahani. Mr. Rabbani was, I think it is a good addition. He's a good find as far as the PSL is concerned. I think they'll be looking in for future as well. By all means, I would say it's a good for the Southern Cricket Association for that part of the Pakistan, which is neglected in terms of cricket. Now the cricket will certainly go up, and we'll see more and more bounties with DA to come for Multan and for their region.
Definitely, sir, because you mentioned about their region in particular, then Multan has enjoyed a good cricketing history, producing some cricketing legends at the same time as well. How important is it for a region like Multan, sir, or if we talk about Nawaz Dhani in particular, when he becomes a role model through PSL, the people back in his native village in Sindh, how important would it be for them to see a role model or the region of South Punjab to have a victorious team on the top spot of Pakistan cricket? How well would it promote cricket there on grassroots levels?
No, these are the people. These are the young boys who have not seen the seaside in their lifetime, coming from Lal Khan or coming from Multan or coming from a remote area. The youngsters, the emerging cricketers, the way they are traveled to UAE and they were given all the protocols, and of course the 7 crore prize money will be distributed amongst them, besides the sponsorship and match fees and TAD, etc., and of course the hoteling. That is a wonderful activity. The cricket is the only game, Ahmad Nawaz, which we have international representation. Hockey is gone, Scotch is nowhere near. So all the games, we are trailing, and we are, we have a very bad affair, football, but it's happening there in the Pakistan Football Federation. So the cricket is only, a unifying force, and there you can see Thani and Imran, and of course then Wahab Riaz, who's from Lahore. He's from a fluent class, but overall, just to an extent, I would say it's a good nursery for the good exposure for those who are deprived by their clubs. It's simply because of the challenge hunting by few of the franchises, that they are the people who are coming up who have not played first class cricket properly. Some of them, they have not made their first class debut as yet, and they are playing for their franchises and making name out of it. So Pakistan is the most fertile land in terms of young talent, but what we need is a regulation and of course a system that is lacking at the moment. I hope and pray that by this brilliant success of PSL, we'll see more successes in terms of domestic cricket organization, in terms of the patronage of the younger folk, the likes of Nawaz Dhani, which you have mentioned.
Right. Raisa, please stay with us online. We'll just come back to you in a short bit. We now have been joined on Sports Extra by senior sports anchor Abdul Ghaffar bhai. Ghaffar bhai, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much, sir.
Ghaffar bhai, a spectacular final. We were talking about the fact that no matter who wins, what we want is a high intensity final. Do you think that has been done justice to, and definitely Multan has deserved the PSL?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, many congratulations to Multan Sultan teams, their players, the captain, management, and of course Peshawar Zalmi for another successful attempt. They reached the final for the 4th time, 6th regular time. They reached the playoffs. So this is amazing consistency. But I think it was a great display of teamwork, and obviously the planning factor was very well organized by the Multan Sultan. But I think above all, I think it is the success of Pakistan's cricket, and Pakistan's cricket board also deserves a lot of appreciation, because when that problem and ups and downs before the league was actually casting doubts, even that league going to happen or not. But I think in the end, it is remarkably achieved, and in the times of pandemic and in the times of COVID-19, when the leagues and the sporting activities been not happening around the world. But I think full marks to Pakistan Cricket Board, and I think they deserve congratulations as well.
Ghaffar bhai, we also know that in the same process, we also now have the PSL team of the year, that is the PSL team of the 6th edition. Mohammad Rizwan has been named as the captain, Babar Azam is there, Colin Monroe is there, we also have Shoaib Maqsood, Nawaz Dhani, a lot of players have been included. What are your thoughts about that?
The only thing I think I can add that the Zai, and obviously the Colin Monroe, and obviously Rashid Khan, Especially these two, I think definitely want them in Pakistan team as well. This is a funny thing I will add because this is something Pakistan need in the T20 international team as well. We need a opener like Sherazi, we need a spinner like Rashid Khan. So, but otherwise, I think on serious note, I think it is a very well deserved team of the HBL PSL. These all guys performed superbly for their teams, and of course, a special mention for Mohammad Rizwan, the way he captained his team. The year he had is remarkable. From the position where he didn't find a place in the PSL team, this previous team, Karachi Kings, to the main performer and the captain and the winner and the champion of the PSL. That is absolutely remarkable. That is show the character of the guy. This is show that is show the class of the player and obviously his international performances. And Shahnawaz Dhani, as many are actually thinking that he is actually the real trophy of the Multan Sultan because the way he performed, the way he actually lived the entire team, and obviously, but only the only thing, Ahmed, I should definitely add, and this is definitely going to be your point as well. It is so sad to see that he was not part of the contingent which actually fly today for the T20 and obviously the one day for England. He should have been there.
Definitely, that is a case that needs a lot of thought, and there's been a lot of talk about it as well. Ghaffar bhai, where does the season go now from here? Because we know that with every edition, it's been improving. More and more players have now opted to join PSL. Even this time, we had players like Martin Guptill coming in for the very first time. Hazratullah Zarzai, Rashid Khan opted to stay with his franchise for majority of the PSL and not go towards other international leagues. So how important is it to realize that PSL obviously has grown with every season, but now it's being ranked by certain players around the world as the most competitive league in the world?
Absolutely, I think Pakistan Super League is purely and surely the pride of Pakistan, the brand of Pakistan, and we are all proud of it. But I think the most important thing, Ahmed, will be for the PSL-7. I hope, inshallah, the COVID situation and obviously the overall situation in Pakistan about this pandemic being solved by the time when the league, which is expectedly happen maybe January, bit earlier than we had the PSL in the February or March. But I think this is going to be very, very important, Ahmed, that this league should happen again in Pakistan. Then because we need this league to happen and play in Pakistan in front of our own people. Obviously, the Peshawar Stadium also being renovated, and obviously, inshallah, that will be ready before the PSL-7. So we definitely have almost 5 centers except the Quetta. I think, inshallah, I wish the Quetta to have stadium where they can play, and we should go to. I think, Ahmed, now the model which IPL have right now, that every team should play on the home and away basis. So this is going to be very important. I think I really hope that already people being vaccinated. So my also request to the Pakistani people right now that please go for the vaccination, follow the SOPs. Mashallah, we have already down the all the ratios, and obviously we are handling COVID as a government pretty well, and people are doing fine as well. So this is going to be very important. This is a bigger subject. It's not just cricket. It's a bigger subject about the life and obviously the safety and the health as well. So people should follow. And inshallah, if this happens, this PSL is gonna happen in Pakistan. That will be the biggest news.
Definitely. Ghaffar bhai, stay with us online. I'll just come back to you in a second. I think all of you are very excited for the PSL team of the year. That is the 6th team. If we can just have it right now and just see how many players have been included so you can get a better idea of how the top performers have been included. There it is on your screens right now. Hazratullah Zarzai, Babar Azam, Colin Munro, Shoaib Maqsood Rizwan is the wicketkeeper, captain Asif Ali, Wahab Riaz, Rashid Khan, Hassan Ali, Shaheen Shah, Afridi, Shahnawaz Dhani, and James Faulkner with his experience has also been included in the team of the year for PSL-6. That is the team of the year. Now coming back, we still have Mr. Raja Asad online with us. Raja Sahab, two very important things I would like to ask you finally. One is that people need to realize that credit needs to be given to the PCB and the PSL management to complete a league in such testing and difficult times of not just COVID-19, travel restrictions, broadcast issues, visa issues, but they still managed to, have it done. And also credit to the ground staff there at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium as well for working tirelessly round the clock. One part, and definitely I would also like you to comment on the fact that it's very important that PCB has a very good diplomacy now as far as ICC and different boards are concerned with such kind of professional activities?
A very pertinent question. First of all, uh, let me hasten to tell you another aspect of this second leg that was played at during this the process of the UAE, Sheikh Zayed Stadium. I've been doing commentary over Radio Pakistan for the PSL matches. I personally believe that due to some omissions and commissions, the standard of the competitiveness suffered a bit. But still, I think the more or less the Pakistan Cricket Board was having some domestic problem. There were few processions coming out from the regions against the policies of the PCB, but still they keep on going, and they remain very stable. So they deserve a full congratulation as far as the successful hosting of this event is concerned. Secondly, our friend Ghaffar made a good point that now this should not be, hosted in future offshore. Because I think during the process of the first PSL, the fifth PSL edition, or rather fall edition, fifth edition, there was a false alarm and that was postponed because of the player, flew overnight to England because of a corona fear, which was, I think, it was not better managed. Second, this edition, the first edition, it would have been better managed, and the whole matches should have been played at Karachi. Even then, I personally believe after that breakup, when the PCB people, they were negotiating with the NCOC, and the minister gave them a snub that you came all the way to me and waste my time because people are dying of the COVID and you are asking about cricket market. So better should have been that Mr. Wasim Khan and Man should have contacted, or they have represented themselves to the NCOC, and amicably the matches should have been held at Karachi. In future, I think there should be no question that we should go to UAE. We have a different, scenario as far as Ghaffar mentioned, that we have a prevalence coming down, trickling down effect. We have a good prevalence about the vaccination. So all things, due to efforts of the government, they are under control. So all need is this, that PCB should. They have set an example by punishing Heatherly, who violate the protocols of the COVID. So that is the thing where that is the environment, that is the ambience that can lead you to hosting all the matches in Pakistan now onward. But they should have some matches at Multan. They should have some matches at Faisalabad. They should have matches in Lahore and Karachi because they are the main center. Besides, they should look forward for Peshawar, where I've been told by one of our colleagues from Peshawar that the stadium is being reconstructed, though it has some very vulnerable approach towards from hotel to the venue, but still I believe that is a wonderful place for the people to watch the PSL matches. So by all means, I think it's good going as far as PSL is concerned. They're better off from IPL. They have completed the formalities. They have completed the matches by hook and crook. And now I think they should look onward and onward.
Onwards indeed. Raja Saab, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Always a pleasure and an honor having you on Sports Extra. And I think Raja Saab's take is there that we should go forward from here onwards, and that's how it should be. Ghaffar bhai, coming back to you, PSL has been completed. Pakistan's next challenge is definitely now England. But the way Shoaib Maqsood has earned a call back into the national side might be luck at the same time, but his performance, you think that's a role model for people who want to make a comeback? They can follow that. First you need to perform at the Qaid-e-Azam Trophy, National One Day Cup, T20 Cup, PSL, and then obviously you can get a call up.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously the seasoned player like Shoaib Maqsood, who already have the experience of playing international cricket, and then his phenomenal performances at the national T20, and then lead this into the PSL. So I'm so happy for him. At the same time, I'm very disappointed and sad for the youngster like Haider Ali, who missed a great opportunity here. And obviously, that is going to be a very important point of his career as well, Shoaib Maqsood, because that is like a new Shoaib Maqsood we are seeing right now. But I think, Ahmad, this is going to be very important that Shoaib Maqsood should get the same freedom and same sort of role in the Pakistan team as well. What we saw and what we witnessed in the past, that people did perform in the domestic and national T20 and maybe PSL level, but when they go to international cricket playing for Pakistan, they certainly look a bit confused. Sometimes they didn't play the national game. Ahmad Shahzad, Umar Akmal, there are many examples. Even Fakhr Zaman. I think we should create an environment where these players like Shoaib Maksud perform in the PSL. Look at the shot he played yesterday. I think a few of the shots he and Riley Rosso played actually not a fault, not a bad bowling at all from the Peshawar Zambi. That is only because they were creating shots on their own. They were very positive. Their intent was to score runs, and that is actually down Peshawar Zambi in the middle overs, and they control the final from that point. So I think this is
Right.
same going to happen. I think Shoaib Masood should get the same freedom, Ahmad, in the Pakistan team, and he played at number three for Multan Sultans. I think he should play not at number three, number four, maybe a bit higher in the order because this is his position and this is where he can dominate the bowler. So I think all the best to Pakistan team. This is going to be very very tough to our opponent. But let's hope that team will perform well there.
Definitely. Ghaffar bhai, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. That was senior sports anchor Abdul Ghaffar bhai. Now we've been joined by sports expert Mr. Ali Mehdi. Ali, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
How are you?
I'm very good. Ali, your thoughts on what a majestic final that we have witnessed?
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best finals you'll see in a very long time. It was the highest scoring game, which was actually put up by Multan Sultans. I thought Shoaib Maksud was brilliant. There is one led from the front. I mean, the way he actually batted and then put Shoaib Maksud. I mean, it was a complete team performance, and to defend that total, I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. All the bowlers contributed, but I actually thought that Imran Tahir, he was the focal point. He was the reason why they won the match. They actually his bowling change came and he completely ripped the middle order apart. So it was a clean bowling performance by the Multan Sultans yesterday.
Ali Mehdi, do you think Peshawar maybe lost this final because of the fact that they did not have much experience in their bowling lineup? Maybe another experienced specialist spinner or a quick bowler could have helped their cause.
I thought that yesterday, the fact that they lost two players yesterday, Umayyad Asif and also Haider Ali, I mean, that actually was a huge psychological blow for them because they were actually completely set and then they really missed those bowlers yesterday. So, I mean, that you could tell that yesterday that because of that, that made a big difference to their bowling lineup yesterday.
Definitely made a big difference. Your thoughts now on the future that is installed for Multan Sultans, especially the fact that Rizwan is also part of the Pakistan squad, and definitely another call up for Shoaib Maksud.
Yeah, it was. I think that it's very good that Shoaib Maksud was actually given this opportunity yesterday, and he's now going for the Pakistan team. He's going to be playing for them, and then at the same time, Rizwan is going to be leading from the front too. So that all of them they're going to amalgam well together, and then once they go to the UK, it'll be I think they're all going to gel well together.
Ali Mehdi, without a doubt, Nawaz Dhani, find of the PSL. Ali, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm saying without a doubt, do you think Nawaz Dhani is the find of the PSL?
I think he was the find of the PSL. He actually bowled extremely well. He was actually the find of the PSL. He did extremely well to get those wickets. He has variety. He bounces the ball very well. He has that ability of unpredictability. So actually that made a big difference. And I think that he's going to do very well in the T20s, the three T20s and the three ODIs which he's playing.
Definitely. And Ali Mehdi, your final thoughts now. What's in store for season 7 that we talk about this now? Because we know that the PSL has been growing with every season. More players have wanted to join in. Do you think now players all around the world are understanding that the level of competition in the PSL is so intense that this is what prepares them better for international circuit and they want to be part of the PSL?
No, everybody wants to be a part of the PSL. You saw some great names come in. I mean, it's Juan Khwaja for that matter. He came and completely changed the PSL this year. You have a lot of international acquisition, and I just hope that by next year, the COVID problems would have eased by then. We'll have a full season, and it'll be best, to have it in Pakistan and to have it in February, March, because that is the perfect season for Pakistan. And we hope that it'll take place. Everything will return to normalcy, and it'll be able to take place throughout all the stadiums in Pakistan, because once that takes place, then I feel that you will get the best players available, and then at the same time it will be fought very competitively.
Competitive indeed as well. Ali Mehdi, your thoughts on the point that you just mentioned, that do you think now it needs to spread to even more stadiums so we get more the diversity, more the culture orientation? We've got Multan probably that can be included. Peshawar stadium is underway. Maybe move to a part of Balochistan and increase the amount of stadiums. There's a stadium in Faisalabad, there's a stadium in Sialkot. Things can be accommodated.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it has to move now. It has to go to Multan. It has to go to Peshawar. It should go to all these other stadiums too. I think it's very important that it actually spreads throughout Pakistan and, to all these other stadiums too, because it's done very well. I mean, we had it in Lahore and Karachi last year. It was brilliant in Multan, and we saw the reception in Rawalpindi. So we're hopeful that, it'll be spread to all these four cities. And then who knows, in the future, Quetta, if a stadium is built there, then hopefully we can have it there in Kubukti Stadium, Quetta.
Right. Ali Mehdi, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. Always a pleasure having you on the show. Right, definitely, as we're talking about the PSL, we also have the team of the year as well. Once again, I'd like to highlight that Multan have really deserved it. There was a lot of talk on social media about this, but if you just look at the amount of players that have been there, Hazratullah Zazai made a difference. Karachi were very disappointing, but still had the luxury of Babar Azam. So if you look at the players that are potential for Pakistan over here, you've got Babar Azam, Shoaib Maqsood, Mohammad Rizwan, who are part of the Pakistan setup. Also, Hassan Ali is also there. So will that be a difference? Because that has been a big question, because people have tend to, criticize the PSL a bit as well, criticize a couple of franchises. But you have to understand that if a franchise wins or not, if it has players that who are playing for Pakistan, the level of experience and match fitness that they're getting is going to be very important, because we've got a T20 World Cup coming up very soon this year. And we've got an England-West Indies tour as well. So definitely Pakistan's T20 squad might not be finalized yet. So I think some of these names who are part of the Pakistan setup can still get a call-up. But that being said, definitely once again, I think from Sports Extra, from PTV World, there'd be a lot of praise for Multan Sultans. And there would be a lot of stuff said about the fact that their management has said a lot. Their management has really lifted their side up. Now we've been joined by fellow sports anchor Ali Gauhar. Ali, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Wa alaikum assalam. Hi, Ahmad. Hope you're well.
Hope you're well, Ali. Long time, but what would you like to say about Multan Sultans and their dream run this PSL?
It was a fantastic performance, because it was a come from behind win. And those are always special. I think they were, fifth on the table or something like that. They were quite low down. And to be able to come back and win so many games to get to the final and then eventually win in such fine style is a fantastic performance. First, the captain, Mohammad Rizwan, who's just been brimming with confidence over the last year or so. And it's showing. I mean, this purple patch is something that he'll want to continue for a long time. It's showing in his batting and his keeping. He won keeper of the tournament. And also his captaincy. Maybe a future T20 captain, who knows, but I don't want to speak too soon. Then Shoaib Maqsood, I think Maqsood showed a lot of resilience. He blows hot and cold, just Shoaib Maqsood, which is why he's been in and out of the Pakistani side. But miraculously, because Haider Ali screwed up and didn't follow protocol, Shoaib Maqsood has been given an opportunity. And, it's almost like divine intervention. He's put in the hard yards. He's worked very, very hard. And it showed in this PSL. I thought he batted in the final especially absolutely brilliantly. It's one thing to bat well in the earlier games and in the middle, but to do it in a crunch game is something else, right?
Right.
So I thought he showed great determination and great skill. And spare thought for Nawaz Dani as well. Everybody's
right, Ali
talking
Gauhar,
about
thank
Dani.
you so much for joining us, Ali Gauhar. Always a pleasure having you. Ali's made it right that Multan have really deserved it. That's all we have time for. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.